Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first session of the Superstars of Pride. So, as you may or may not know, June is Pride Month, and I always like to do programming centered around Pride in June. And so I decided the Superstars of Pride. I thought that would be something fun to do. So, what I'm going to do is for this week, today, and the next two Saturdays coming up, I'll be talking about a certain person who has contributed to the Pride movement, and we'll be doing a craft as well. And the craft is something you can pick up at the library. So what I'm going to do is have all the crafts together in one like brown paper bag, so that way you can just pick them up in one visit to the library. You can come in or you can do it as curbside. Just say that you're there to pick up the Superstars of Pride craft materials. And so each video I will read about the person, and then I will actually make the craft and show you how to do it. So sometimes I think it's easier to see someone making a craft instead of just reading something, because sometimes I find written directions to be confusing. Does anyone else find that? And then the last week is going to be actually a Zoom party. So that fourth Saturday in June, make sure you sign up to get the Zoom link. And so I'll be reading a couple more stories. There'll be like some fun, easy trivia based on the people that I talked about, and a chance to win a gift card to a local business. So yeah, I have lots of fun stuff planned for Pride. So we're going to talk about our first person today, Elton John. And if you're thinking, I don't know who that is, if you've seen The Lion King and listened to the music, this is the man responsible for the music. So you might not have heard his name, but you already know some of his music. So let's read about the one and only Elton John. This is the story of a little boy from the London suburbs who once sat at the piano and started playing a waltz by ear. His name was Reggie, and from that day on, whenever his parents argued, music became his refuge. Does anyone else play the piano? He received a scholarship to study classical music at the Royal Academy of Music. By singing in the choir and playing with other musicians, he discovered what music is all about, bringing people together. So he was very smart, because if you receive a scholarship somewhere, that means you're a pretty smart person. And so he's playing the piano, and he has friends playing music too. Reggie started composing his own melodies and singing rock and roll with a band. One day, he saw an advert from a record company looking for new talent. He decided to go to the audition. Some of his band members. He's gonna try out for something. Let's see what happens. Reggie didn't do very well that day. Still, he left the tryout with an envelope full of lyrics from a guy called Bernie that all needed a melody. Back home, when Reggie started reading, something magical happened. Ooh. So he has some lyrics to a song, but can't just have lyrics to a song. We need music too, right? Reggie wasn't the best at writing lyrics, and Bernie didn't know how to write melodies. But by working together, all they needed was 15 minutes to make the most beautiful songs. Look at that. That's a really cool picture, isn't it? After 2 long years of composing songs for other artists, it was time for Reggie to record his first solo album. But Reginald Kenneth wasn't the coolest name for an artist, so he changed it to Elton John. So that's where he got the name from. He changed. I didn't know his real name was Reginald Kenneth. And I like those glasses. One morning, Elton and Bernie wrote a song at breakfast. It was called Your Song, and it launched Elton like a rocket man. From his mother's modest house to superstardom, it was his first big hit. So, parents or grandparents watching, I bet you know that song. For the kids, it's a really beautiful song. You can ask your parents, maybe, your grandparents, aunts, uncles, to play it for you. Jumping on stage, dressed as Captain Fantastic, Elton became a celebrity loved by millions. He had thousands of spectacular glasses and the most amazing wardrobe a drag queen would long for. Oh, look how colorful he is. But once the show was over and the adoring crowds had left, Elton felt terribly alone. He had all he could dream of, and still, nothing seemed to make him happy. So, everything's blue because he's feeling sad, or sometimes people might say they're feeling blue when they're feeling sad. Everything changed when he met Ryan, a little hero fighting in the hospital. Ryan showed him that life's too wonderful to waste in complaining. The day they said goodbye, Elton promised to honor his friend's memory by being his best self. Oh, that's a good thing to do. I like that. Good way to honor someone. And he sure did. He started eating healthy, getting a good night's sleep, and looking after himself. And when David, the husband he had always wanted, came David, the husband he had always wanted. Sorry, I read that wrong. They built their own family and are the proud fathers of 2 children. Yay! Elton was knighted by the Queen of England, not just for being the most successful male solo artist of all time, but also for creating a fantastic foundation to fight AIDS, the disease that had taken Ryan and many other friends away. So he is actually Sir Elton John. It's pretty cool. And after a long life dedicated to music, Sir Elton John still remembers little Reggie, the shy boy who looked for comfort sitting at his piano and ended up bringing joy and happiness to the world with his songs. So there's Big Elton and Little Elton, or Reggie. And so this is what the real Elton John looks like. You can see the timeline of his life. There's a curtain picture. Yeah, let's see just a little bit about himself, a little bit more about him. Reginald Kenneth Dwight was born in England in 1947. Inspired by musical greats like Little Richard and Ray Charles, Reggie taught himself to play piano. His father disagreed with Reggie's dream of pop superstardom, but Reggie didn't let that stop him. At the age of 17, he realized he wanted to transform himself, so he borrowed 2 of his bandmates' names, and Elton John was born. So that's how he came up with Elton John. In 1967, Elton met Bernie Taupin, and together the duo wrote hits that no one could predict. Pop ballads like Your Song, rock and roll dance-alongs like Crocodile Rock, and sing at the top of your voice anthems like I'm Still Standing. On stage, Elton could be anything he dreamed, and the crowds loved him for it. He could make you sing, dance, laugh, and cry. When he pulled his signature move on stage, a handstand on his piano, it felt like the whole room was floating up with him. Elton also became known for some crazy outfits full of feathers, Pom-poms, sequins, and sunglasses you had to see to believe. His wildest dreams had come true. Why not dress for the occasion? Oh, yeah, that's right. Elton has had 27 top 10 hits, won countless awards, and even performed at Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee. Oh my goodness. So he got to perform for the Queen. He was knighted in 1998 for his music and charity work with the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which Elton set up in memory of his friend Ryan White. In 2018, he announced he would quit touring to spend more time with his husband and 2 kids. He remains one of the world's best loved singers and an LGBTQ plus icon. The boy from England who dreamed big became everyone's favorite rocket man. Elton John. And you really should ask your parents to listen to some of his songs because he's really talented. So Elton played the piano, but I couldn't really do a piano craft, so we're going to be doing tambourines. And so there's different shapes, and you can actually paint it unless you want to keep it white, which is okay. It's your tambourine. You're going to create it however you want. And so where I got them from, it said the best way to decorate them is using a permanent marker. That's permanent, not a regular marker, or acrylic or tempera. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but you know what I mean. So acrylic or tempera paints are the best to decorate these with. And so what you're going to have is you're going to have your shape, you're going to have a chenille stem, and your jingle bells. I don't know if you can hear them over the recording. So for the jingle bells, I'll probably put those in like a separate little bag in the big bag, just so they don't get lost. So I don't know if it's, oh yeah, you can see it on the video. You can see that there's holes in it. So the chenille stem, it does fit through them. And so you're going to put it through. And don't forget your bell. What way do I want the bell on though? So yeah, looks like it's going to be a little tricky to get in, so parents might need to help the kids. That's why I wanted to do the video showing it. Where is this? Oh, I think I see. Does it go this way? It does. Okay, so then just put the bell on in between. Sure if you can. Okay. Oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna drop it. Small, so be careful with that. And then just twist and turn it in your shape. And there, I did it. Woo. And now I have to do it a few more times. But yeah, you just keep going through the shape in the where those holes are. Look a little at you. Some of these holes don't seem like they made them big enough. Oh, here we go. This one's a good one. So yeah, it looks like when they, they made it, it looks like some of the holes don't seem to work as well. So just find one where you can fit it in, or you can always make it bigger yourself. But it looks like there's plenty of spots where you could get it to work. And then you're just gonna wrap it around your shape. And again, don't forget the bells. You can put the bells wherever you want. And you can see up here is where the hole is. And you can, yeah, I mean, this is your craft, kids. You can make it however you want. You can decorate it however you want. That's what I love about art, is it's a chance for you to show your creativity and how you want something to be. You don't have to do it any one way. Oops. Need a little more. Let's try this one down here. And do you have a favorite Elton John song? You can play it while you're making this craft. I don't think I can do it because I think that would be a copyright issue to record the song. And I think you just need to keep playing with the stem just to make sure it's gonna fit. Now I forgot where I was trying to. Try to figure it out, right? Maybe this will work better. Oh, okay, that side worked better. Maybe I was doing the wrong one. And get another bell on there. You hear it? You hear the jingling? Oh yeah, that one's going through way better than the other one. Maybe see if I can get this last one. Through somewhere. I want to do it on this side. I think my hands might be a little too big. So, yeah, I'm just gonna have a little something here where I can just poke it very carefully just to make the hole a little bit bigger, because I'm just having a little trouble. There we go. So you might need to do that too. Just make it a little bit bigger. And still have trouble. I don't know why the other side. There we go. I did it. Woo! Woohoo! Yay me! It's fun to cheer for yourself when you're having trouble with something, and then you get it done. It's exciting. And then that way, as you see me having trouble, if you have trouble too, you're not alone. Miss Sarah had lots of trouble. Miss Sarah had lots of trouble. There. And then I have one more bell left. think the issue was this was folded over, so it was making it thicker. So make sure your stem is straight if you don't want to struggle with it. Or nope, I might need to make this one. Yeah, they made the holes very small. So, but that's okay because an easy fix, you just make it a little bigger. Kids, you can always have your parents do the harder part, and then you can do the fun part where you decorate it. I did it. And so when you get to the end, you can just twist it a little so the last bell doesn't come off. So you see I just did a little twist. And I have my tambourine. Ooh. You can play it like patting like this, or you can just shake like that. And like I said, feel free to decorate it if you wish. Again, if you want to keep it white, that's fine. But you know, like I said, the permanent markers work the best, or acrylic or tempera paint. And again, you can pick these up at the North Syracuse location. And the crafts, they'll be for all 3 weeks, plus the craft for the Pride Zoom party. So yeah, I'll see y'all next week for our next person, and hopefully see everyone at the Zoom party.